I'm moving from Ireland to Italy soon, so I made a custom flag for myself. This is such a genius design, I have to admit. I'm really enjoying the gradient. Interestingly, I wasn't sure if the green actually changed, but it definitely does. Obviously, the orange, though, definitely changes to more of a red at the bottom. This is actually reminding me of a shirt that I have somewhere. This makes people so mad every time I wear it. A USA flag, a papal flag, and 2 flags representing the Kingdom of Jerusalem and the Eastern Roman Empire. This was literally found in the wild. How did you figure out where I live? No, but seriously, I probably am gonna be this guy one day. Do you guys realize just how many flags I own at this point? My plan is to pretty much buy every single one of them. I thought it was cool that the Northern Cyprus and Israel flags look like variants of each other, so I completed the trinity. Here we have the Northern Cyprus flag, and here we have the flag of Israel. Finally, we have maybe a proposed flag for, what, the papal state? I mean, at this point, might as well. It's almost a little bit too perfect. Like Northern Cyprus, though, should change this to green, though. If you go on Google Earth and go in Street View in Antarctica, you will find a lot of countries' flags, but there is one that is blurred. Can anyone figure out which one this is? It looks like it's just 2 colors. Well, right next to it, we have South Africa and Belgium. Also, the wind is forcing the flags to look backwards, so I'm not sure. It definitely looks like white and red to me. What is this, like Indonesia? Poland can into Antarctica. Or wait a second, maybe it's actually just a person. That or Japan, but no, I think it's actually nobody, because look, there's nothing next to South Africa. Belgium, Japan's flag is this shadow right here. So they got a whole bunch of things going on. France, the UK, the USA, Australia. I'm not sure what some of these are. Probably New Zealand, Argentina. Oh, and here are the nations. It's actually a ceremonial South Pole sort of event. Looks pretty wild. I can't wait for them to throw like a music festival here. So interesting to me how difficult it actually can be to get to the South Pole. I guess the vast majority of people come from Chile or Argentina in South America, but there's also a route from Cape Town, South Africa, and then technically you could also do it through the southern island of New Zealand as well. You could also sail from Argentina using a boat, but that's going to take 2 days. I like this flight from Chile. It's just 2 hours. You could also take a boat from New Zealand, but that's going to take 10 days and also 22,000, but that's not as expensive as it gets. It can go up as high as $67,000 from Cape Town in South Africa to the South Pole. I guess 90% of the people that want to go to Antarctica just take this boat in Route 1. The Californian flag, but with the official state fossil, what is the saber-toothed tiger? And this looks so much more epic. Can we do this, please? I mean, if Wales can have a dragon on their flag, we should be able to have something that actually existed. Sorry, Wales, I don't mean to bully you even more. I feel like this thing could definitely beat a bear in a fight. Although, actually, I don't know. These bears can get pretty huge at the same time. Looks like it could be almost the size of a bear. It just depends on how small the bear is. I'm also now just learning that most US states have a state fossil. Some states that lack an explicit state fossil have a nevertheless singled out fossil for formal designation as a state dinosaur, rock, gem, or stone. Alabama has these giant whales. Of course, Alaska would have the woolly mammoth. I love that Arizona just has petrified wood. Colorado with the Stegosaurus, and Connecticut with just dinosaur tracks. One seems to be a little bit cooler than the other. Who got the megalodon? That's what I want to know. Well, Georgia has a shark tooth. I mean, that's something. Kansas has 2? How'd they get 2? Average fish from Ohio. Wow, imagine not having a state dinosaur. Minnesota, Indiana, Rhode Island, and New Hampshire. Now I want to see a version of this with a woolly mammoth. So many states had a woolly mammoth. A family friend gave me this chocolate from Kazakhstan. I have never wanted to try chocolate from Kazakhstan more than right now. This is actually extremely epic. Like, this chocolate probably tastes so good. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just all about the design. Maybe that's why they make the design so good, because the chocolate is actually pretty crappy. Hey, I know this tastes like doo-doo, but at least you got our flag on the wrapper. Anyone else agree with me that this should actually be the firefighter's flag instead of the thin red line? I have never seen this before in my life, but if you randomly showed it to me, I would assume it was coming from like Eastern Europe at a certain time period. This is looking awfully familiar. There's kind of a sickle back there and a hammer. This is actually one of the flags that pop up when you Google firefighter flags. I'm assuming they didn't go with this one because it looks like they're firefighters for the USSR. Flags of international organizations around the world. To start things off, we have the African Union and the Andean Community. There's the Arab League and the Caribbean Community. I didn't know there was a Caribbean community. The Council of Europe, which is, what is that? That's just the EU flag. The Eurasian Economic Union, the East African Community, as well as the Commonwealth of Independent States. There's the Nordic Union, which is pretty epic. Of course, we all have heard of NATO at this point. The La Francophonie? Francophonie? What did they say that?
Francophonie.
Oh, phony. I was gonna say, it didn't sound very, like, nice. Like it was supposed to be France, like, dunking on Quebec. Fake French. Also, the United Nations, the Union of South African Nations, the Turkic Council, and the Pacific Community. And these which aren't even named. I feel like I've always really liked the African Union flag. Maybe it's only a matter of time before we actually see something like this happen. I think almost everyone in continental Africa is at least a member, although Mali and South Sudan here are suspended members. This would be getting rid of so many flags if this this actually became one country. There's also this one, which is an economic union of Southeastern Asian countries. That could have been something else we could have included. I feel like some of these organizations need to improve their flag designs. This is the Central American Parliament flag, and I don't really know what's going on here. My daily trivia calendar says the answer is only Morocco, when Vietnam also counts. Which country has a red flag with a star in the middle? Oh yeah, you should have made it a little bit more specific. I actually think the Vietnamese flag is way more obvious here. There's no way I would have picked the Moroccan flag. Maybe if you said there's a pentagram in the middle. Maybe whoever made this calendar is like very strong advocates for South Vietnam. They just like refuse to acknowledge the North. Found this beautiful flag design while searching Wellington, New Zealand. The place that uses this flag is called Wellington, Kansas. This literally looks like a proposed flag for New Zealand almost. One of those like proposed flags that actually looks way better than the current one. I mean, I feel like almost anything could beat this one. I'm sorry. Well, especially Laser Kiwi. Like how Wellington, Kansas is like smack dab almost in the middle of the state, just like right south near Oklahoma. Population of only 7,000, but their priorities are definitely straight. They gotta make sure that flag be looking really epic. This is the flag of Hilter, Lower Saxony. And you heard that right. I said Hilter. And no, I'm not mispronouncing it like I mispronounce a certain man with a skinny mustache. Hilter is a municipality in Lower Saxony of Germany. Hilter here is located in Germany. That's an interesting sentence. Seems a little bit, odd, you know? Hilter is well known for mining Hilter gold. Interesting. I thought the Swiss keeps a hold of that. Did they name this place after the Monty Python sketch, or what exactly is going on? Also, I'm very glad this flag isn't just like a red background with a white circle and a certain, Hindu icon in the middle. Here we go. Here's something I needed in my life. The complete naval flags of landlocked countries, because you need a naval flag if you're a landlocked country. Now, believe it or not, most landlocked countries just don't have a naval flag. I mean, I feel like I would if I was the owner of Chad. Might as well make a naval flag too. Now, I actually remembered that Bolivia has a pretty epic naval flag here. I mean, honestly, you might as well. You gotta spend that naval budget money somewhere, because it's certainly not going into building boats. There's the landlocked country of Switzerland. They just use their regular land flag. There's Uzbekistan, which, I mean, I gotta be honest, Uzbekistan, this looks really hideous. There is Serbia, which isn't bad. I don't know why they gave it this white strip over here. There is the nation of Hungary, which maybe they're just hoping that the Austro-Hungarian Empire comes back and then they get to use this again. I guess they technically are using it. They just don't get to fly it on a ship. The Azerbaijan flag, and finally, Kazakhstan. Now, to be fair, some of these places might have access to, like, I don't know, a lake. So maybe these flags are kind of flown over water, just not like open seas. Oh, that is actually the case for Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan. They're specifically operating in the Caspian Sea. Oh, but unfortunately, it seems like we forgot the Navy of Paraguay. They also have to have a flag, which they also have about 5,500 personnel. They gotta make sure they don't lose 70% of their male population again. Gotta have an intimidating naval flag. Did you know the flag of Greenland is actually a simplified map of Greenland? So the flag creator stated that the white top represents the ice sheets, the bottom red represents the ocean at sunset, and the white and red semicircles represent an iceberg and a forge respectively. I would have never guessed this otherwise, although this does kind of explain why it's the only like Nordic area that doesn't use this Nordic format, even if Denmark technically controls Greenland. Still convinced they gotta change the flag of Greenland to green though. PSA, this is not the flag of the Byzantine Empire. Wait, this is not the flag of the Byzantine Empire? Has my whole life been a lie? Correct, it was the flag slash symbol of a dynasty, but it's like the closest true Roman flag, so I guess it just kind of took over. Oh yeah, there's also this, which I've seen a couple times too. Wikipedia has this monstrosity for the Byzantine Empire as of 1350. What, did Eastern Rome randomly form a union with England or something? And is this green line supposed to represent Wales? I don't know, I'm just not a fan. Yeah, what about the purple? Usually Byzantine is represented by purple. So I guess there's just like a bunch of different depictions, but nothing super official. I had no idea. It's kind of depressing. I think I haven't bought a Byzantine flag yet. We all know of flags that contain other flags, but what about flags containing themselves? There is technically 8 world flags that contain themselves inside of themselves. It's like flag inception. So obviously something as simple as Poland contains a separate smaller Poland within their flag. The Czechia one is pretty cool though, because it's not something that you would probably notice off the top of your head. Same goes for the nation of Seychelles. We also have a rare African cameo from Benin, also Madagascar. I'm now just noticing the similarities between Benin and Madagascar. And what's most interesting is these countries aren't even close to each other. And to finish us off, we have Ukraine, Indonesia, and of course, Monaco. I feel like you would think there would be more included on the list with all the tricolors there are in the world. But remember, you can't just zoom in to a tricolor and still have an equally proportional flag inside. There'd be like a large middle strip and then a very tiny bottom and top. I think the ultimate flag within a flag that was left off though is the tiny Caribbean nation of Haiti, with within the Haitian flag, there are several smaller Haitian flags. Obviously, this is not exactly what we were doing before, but still flag within a flag. There's actually a few more countries that can technically say the same thing. Ecuador also comes to mind, and then the actual neighbor to Haiti, the Dominican Republic right here. So there's actually a lot of flag inception going on. I don't think the world is aware of this. Oh, and we can't forget this one, the old Libyan flag. There's definitely an old Libyan flag and an even older Libyan flag in there. And big thanks to my patrons. Drew, I forgot to kidnap you. Next date is March 19th, 2023.
The Polish Lithuanian
Quinn
Commonwealth.
Taylor,
Portugal
John
is
Denver,
not Balkans.
good old Rye,
Iowa,
aka
Barbados
Drew, if you don't come to
Ball.
Krakow,
Drew's
Poland, I will find you.
Argentinian grandpa.
$20
is a lot.
aPhatNarwhal.
Why am I doing
Carmel
this?
Drew does
Andrew
everything
Goth
for
Girl,
$20.
Jack Draven's annoying
LuxembourgLover,
Lover,
Robert
Robert
Fresh,
RyeThePie,
Anime
the
Shrek,
Mexican
Twickenhamster,